So what we're going to do now is I'm going to walk through the course website and we'll demonstrate where to find the various resources you'll need in order to get the assignments, look at the screencasts, get the PDF files of the videos, and learn more about other aspects of the course. So let me start by sharing my screen and we will go to the website. So here's the website. The website's at dre.vanderbilt.edu/tildeschmidt/CS251. And you'll see here that we've got logistics, when the class is meeting, which I think you probably know, when my office hours will be, which will be before the class. You're welcome. If you can't make those office hours, coordinate with me and we'll find a time to do that. The office hours for the TA are posted here. This is the wiki page. And if you go here, currently they're Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. If that time ends up being really inconvenient for lots of people, we'll try to get more flexibility there. If you want to know how to get access to the TA Zoom link, please feel free to send Azar email and he will reply to you. And then my expectations for what you should know coming into the class are CS 101 and 201, or 1101 and 2201. And I'm also expecting you to be generally proficient with C++, with the basics. There's some links here explaining what we're going to cover in the course contents, what you'll be learning. There's a summary of the coursework talking about the percentages of various things. There's also a link here talking about the programming assignment logistics. In other words, how the process works, where you submit your assignment and then I review it and then I push my comments back to you and then you improve your solution before you submit it for final grading. So please read that stuff carefully. There's also a link to the textbook. There's really only one required textbook. That's the book on patterns. And then there's also some recommended reading for C++ and STL and Git and so on. The reason I don't make those required is you can get an awful lot of this information online, and you probably don't need to read through 1,000 pages of C++ textbook to learn what we need to do the projects in the class. But you're welcome to get those books. They're very good books. Then there's also a frequently asked questions link here, which will give answers to common questions. If there's anything that you have questions about that should go there, let me know. I'll be happy to update it. Probably the most useful one would be the question number 12 about being able to pull assignments from my repository, which is on GitHub, and then work on them in your repository, which will be in GitLab. And again, Azar, the TA, will go through this stuff in office hours, but this is a good place to go if you need some help. Then also, as I produce the material, I'll put the videos and the PDF versions of the slides up here on this link. They'll also be available in my YouTube playlist, but I would start here because you'll also get the PDF files too. The programming assignments will be here as they're created. The first assignment is already there. And so you can go ahead and basically clone this repository. And then I will be putting other source code examples that we'll be covering in class here in my C++ repository. So for example, we probably won't start this today, but certainly tomorrow we'll start going through a whole bunch of really cool examples to illustrate C++ features, and you can find all the examples here. Likewise, we'll be going through C++ and the standard template library, and so there's lots of stuff there. So those will be things we'll be doing later in the course. Speaking of which, I've also been doing some webinars over the past couple of weeks in preparation for this class, and if you're interested, you can go to this website called STL by Example. And I've been trying to do these kind of once a day and then putting them up on my YouTube playlist. This will all be stuff that we'll cover in this class, so don't feel like you have to go back and watch it unless you're really, really curious what we're going to cover. But I've got about a dozen or so videos up that talk about various C++ STL capabilities. Like I said, we'll cover all that stuff in this class. This was just me getting a chance to test drive the material before we started. Okay, so that's the main place to go is this link, and then everything else is pointed to from that. And as I mentioned before, please go to Brightspace if you, well, you'll have to use Brightspace to take the quizzes, but that's a different set of issues here.